In this video, we're going to be learning how to create charts. And charts are, of course, useful because they, in a visual manner, depict data and allow us to compare data points to one another in a more meaningful way than just comparing, let's say, a 5 to a 7. So let's go ahead and start with a new blank presentation. And let's, in the Home tab and in the Slides group, let's change the layout of this first slide so that it's title only. And the reason we're doing that is, of course, because we want there to be space for us to enter a chart, right? At the moment, there's a title and then a subtitle. So let's go ahead and go to Layout and then change it to Title Only. Okay. Now, to insert a chart, of course, we have to start with some data. The data that we start with is just going to be default data in Excel, just to show us sort of how to enter the information into each of the cells. And so the numbers that we start with are going to be meaningless. Let's click on the Insert tab to get started. And in the Illustrations group, we're going to click on Chart. And we're going to stick with the clustered column chart to start off with. And how this works is that you have a series of different categories, and within each of those categories, you have different series. Okay, that's going to make more sense in a second when we flesh out this example. So let's go ahead and click on the first option, clustered column, and then click on OK. And there we have our clustered column chart. We've got our meaningless data at the top, and it's ready to be replaced with meaningful data. So for the series, these are going to be represented by the colors below, right? So blue represents series 1, orange series 2, gray series 3, for example. Let's change the names of these series to the following. So let's say that we're measuring values having to do with a Halloween expedition. Instead of series 1, we're going to go with haunted sites. Okay, and then we can use tab, or we can just use our arrow keys to navigate over to series 2. We're going to call this one Celebrity Burial Sites. Hit tab, and then Halloween Tours. Great, and I'll use my arrow keys to get down here to the actual data itself. Now the other thing is, instead of categories, these are going to be quarters. So I'm going to call this one quarter space 1, and then I can actually just, you can just sort of copy paste quarter 1, but this isn't an Excel course, so let's just type it out, since we won't need to ever know that for PowerPoint. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then the values are going to be the following. Again, this is likely the number of people in each quarter that are paying for each of these haunted expeditions. Okay, again, I'm just using my arrow keys to navigate from one cell to the next. And again, you'll notice that there is a few different colors that will appear, and those indicate. Okay, so when I click on one of these cells, you'll notice that there are the purple ones over here on the left, and then the red ones at the top. Those can actually be switched, as we're going to see later, but for the moment we have the red ones at the top representing each separate series, so representing each different color in the clustered column chart below. Okay, and then they're categorized based on the quarters. So we say in quarter 1, okay, clearly haunted sites did the best. In fact, in every quarter, haunted sites did the best, for example. And then in every quarter except for quarter 4, celebrity burial sites did the worst, for example. Okay, so we can kind of make those conclusions based on this data. So now let's go ahead and keep going. Once you're finished entering the data, you can just close this, this little embedded Excel window. You can bring it back whenever you want. So we'll just go ahead and close that, and let's actually change the chart type. So we're going to have the same data, but a different type of chart. So right now I'm under the Chart Design tab, which only appears when I'm actually selecting a chart. Okay, it's a contextual tab. Notice that if I click somewhere else, it's gone. So if I click on the chart and I go to the chart design tab, I'm going to go to the type group and then click on change chart type. And let's say that we want to see how this would look as a line graph. Okay, so we'll click on line. Okay, it looks something like this. So again, same data, and it's showing how the data changes from one quarter to the next, okay, with each of the different colors. So for example, we see that there are more and more people as the 4 quarters progress that are attending the haunted sites exhibition, for example. And if we go to a pie chart, that's even more simple because it can only contain one of the series, right? So it's only containing the quarters, and it's basically saying that if you add up each of the columns here into one large column for quarter one, one large column for quarter two, etc., then this is how it will be broken down in terms of the percentages of each quarter. So we can see, for example, that we had the most people coming in quarter four. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's go back to column now, and let's choose the 3D clustered column. The 3D is just sort of an effect. It doesn't reveal any extra information or anything, but it just looks more interesting. So 3D clustered column, and then click on OK. Right, and so that's fine. So again, we can show the data as one of many different types of charts, but we can also, within a given type of chart, so within this 3D clustered column, we can change the quick layout, and what that's going to do is it's going to include a particular package of chart elements. So for example, a legend, or for example, data labels on top of each of these bars, right? So if I want to know the exact number of this blue bar, then I might want to choose a quick layout that actually shows that to me. So under the chart layouts group, let's click on quick layout, and let's go with layout 9. And so you'll see that if I compare layout 9 to, let's say, layout 8, it's all the same data, but it's just kind of it's just represented slightly differently. Okay, it's all the same colors and everything, right? So it's not a different style, it's just a different layout because the chart elements themselves are different in each case. So let's choose layout 9.